Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, which begins today with a caller inquiring about these very same podcasts. He talks to Sean Coyle, a mistake, as he hasn't heard of podcasts, even though he is on them. Listen now to excerpts of which Coyle is not aware of their existence, even though he is talking about them.
A man that I met over the weekend.
Yes.
He complained about your wee thing at night.
Did he?
Yes.
I'd like to know his name.
Do you know your wee thing you have on?
What's that? At night?
Aye.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
The wee thing that I have on at night.
You have a wee thing on the radio at night.
Janet Turnaway. I have a wee thing on the radio at night.
Yeah. A wee, it's on 7 o'clock, isn't it?
I don't know what that is.
Is it not?
What are you talking about?
There's something, a man listens.
You mean a program? A program?
It's something that this man listens to. And he said...
That I'm on it?
He says, yes. And it's clips from your program.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you not know about that? It was called Anderson Extra.
No, this is on every night.
Every night?
Yes.
And what's it on?
He said, and
do you know what it is? It's the podcast.
Is that what it is? It's some...
Janet, tell him about the podcast.
Sometimes it lasts 13 minutes or some... Yeah.
Did nobody tell you about the podcast?
Well,
we do that every day when we finish this programme. Do you know the way I stay here?
I thought it was on... I assumed when I was talking to the man it was on every night at 7 o'clock. I pretended I knew what he was talking about, you see.
Let me explain
but the point that he made was this. Mm-hmm. He says that he listens to Radio Ulster on the that wee thing.
It's called the iPlayer, Sean.
Right?
Yeah.
But he says that your volume is the worst of all the levels.
I know, so we're trying to get it sorted out.
No, he said he can't hear you in particular. He said you can hear me. You can hear if you take
That's
a phone call.
That's because you're rough.
You can take a phone call, but they can't hear you, and especially when you whisper. He said, it's terrible. It's very annoying, and he's a regular listener.
I'm trying to sort it out. Nobody's helping me here.
He listens to Radio Ulster and Radio 4 on the wee thing.
That's okay. It's called the iPlayer. Why don't you just call it the iPlayer?
I don't know where it is.
It's on your computer, Sean. Every day at 12 o'clock when this programme ends, do you ever notice that I stay here for a little while whenever you go away?
Yes.
What do you think I'd be doing when I'm staying here? What I'm doing is putting the podcast together, because the podcast is very important. Sometimes it's not there due to lack of illness, but most days it's there. And that's what we do.
Well,
and you should know all about it because you're involved in the programme. You're on it too. You should listen to it sometime and realise what we do here.
We can't be on it because nobody pays you.
Nobody pays us, no, but we do it out of loyalty. We do it because we feel as if the listeners deserve it, and we do it for the benefit of overseas listeners who may not get an opportunity to listen to this programme because of overwhelming time differences.
Well, can you turn your level up today?
I'm up as far as I can go, and I know that people will still tell me that they can't hear me. There's nothing I can do. There's something wrong with the equipment, and nobody's listening to me. I've turned it into Nolan. Did you see me turning it into Nolan there?
Yeah.
Technology is a wonderful thing if a man understands the ins and outs. Alas, there are more ins than outs and more information than the presenter can assimilate without getting a sore head. There are apps, though. He has learned to say apps instead of applications, apps that he has mastered. I have a machine here, and do you know what I can do? I'm going to show it to you now. It's on my iPhone. Right. It's an app called Shazam.
I know about that.
What is it?
It tells you what music's playing.
Yeah.
I know all about that.
If you're walking down the street...
Yeah. If you see me walking down the street
and I start to cry each time we meet,
walk
on by. If I'm walking down the street and I'm going past somebody's window,
yes.
You know the way you would look in there?
Yeah.
Well, I don't do that because I'm afraid. I might see something I don't want to see, or somebody might shoot me or something, or report me to the police, but you have no such fears. If I'm walking by the window, do you remember I remember the very first time I ever became aware of the radio. Did I ever tell you about this? And I was reminded when I saw the movie Billy Liar. Billy Liar was a movie that was out in the 60s. Very, very good book. It was about a young lad in Leeds who worked and was very disillusioned by what he did. The part was played by Tom Courtenay. Yeah. It's a very interesting movie if you watch it now because it's of its time and it's interesting. Look, Janet's listening.
Yeah.
Hello, Janet. I never saw Janet listening before. She's turning around listening to me.
She likes films.
Does she?
Yes, she does.
Thank you for joining us.
Go on, back to Tom Courtenay.
Anyway, and there was one particular, he has all these fantasy moments. He's walking to work, you see, and then suddenly he's at the head of an army and he's marching down the street. He has these, illusions of grandeur. Mm-hmm. But one time he's walking down the street and all the windows of all the little 2-up, 2-down houses, little small houses, working class terrace houses, all the windows are all open. It's summer. And out of every one of them comes Which used to be the signature tune of Housewives' Choice.
And your programme.
And my programme. I adopted that because of sentimental reasons. And that's the first time I ever listened to the radio. And I also used to listen to music while you work, when I was ill in bed. Ever tell you about the time
What
I
was
was
the
sick in
theme tune
bed?
to that?
I can't. Used to play that every morning and every afternoon about, I think it was 11:15 and 4:45. When I was lying ill in bed, with shingles or something, whatever it was. I was very ill when I was a child. You know that, don't you?
Yes, we know.
And I lay there in bed for 6 months, and the only thing that kept me from sanity and indeed death was the picture of the Sacred Heart above me and the BBC. Baudelarized version of well-known songs have never annoyed the presenter, especially when he is called upon to sing them himself as a prelude to a popular discussion on prostitution and death. Well, here's a lady who's written a song for you. It's Roy Walker's song for the Eurovision, sung to the tune of The Homes of Donegal. Remember, just say what you see. It's good, but it's not right. Buzz and Jerry, here we go. You've done it. You've got it right. Sean's in play. Now take a square. 5 seconds. Here we go. Great guess, but it is not the one. It's good, but it's not right. You have to learn that and do as it Roy Walker. Can you do that?
I shall.
I'll send it to you.
It's good.
Will you do it before the end of the programme?
Well, I don't know about that.
I just did it.
I know.
Off the top of my head. Could you do that with Roy Walker's voice?
We'll try it.
You're no fun.
Jeepers, what more can I do? What more?
Nah, he's right. He's right. He's right. Look, he's well sore and Sean. Look, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Two you get in there. Look at you.
Do you know what I heard the other day and I thought about you?
Swine flu or something? What?
No.
What?
I heard men talking about round-heeled girls.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I thought about you. Do you know what that is, Janet? Janet doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, she's letting on. She doesn't know. She knows rightly.
She doesn't, she said.
Okay, well, why did you think about me when you heard about round-heeled girls?
Because you talked to them. Didn't you?
So why wouldn't I? You never know.
You usually talk to them at the top of your street.
That's right, yes.
And I thought about it. I said, he was talking to the round-heeled girls.
I was always very friendly with prostitutes.
Cobblestones, and I'm just explaining to Janet, the cobblestones in England, or the streets in England were cobblestones, and therefore the girls in their high heels, they're walking up and down that often, and their heels became rounded, so they were known as the round-heeled girls.
Ladies of the night, yeah.
Just explain that to Janet.
Janet knows
So I
more.
thought about Tim. I heard about that the other night, and I thought about you.
Janet knows more than you think. She's pretending not to know stuff because she knows it's not nice to know everything. No, I used to be very friendly with prostitutes.
Janet's knocking.
Maybe this is not the sort of thing we should talk about today, but I mean, I regarded, I used to regard them as very interesting.
Yes.
And I haven't changed my mind. Who's on the line here? Once again, the equipment gives the presenter a jip as he tries to get his message across to the great unwashed. How will he ever make as much money as Nolan when they can't even hear him?
That's all I wanted to say.
Is there some delay here, or is it me?
There's a delay.
Yes.
No, it's not a delay. There's the radio on in that gentleman's room.
You've still got your radio on, and that's creating a kind of a delay.
No, it's TV. I'm watching TV. It's on. I can't hear anything on my phone.
You see, I can't fight this.
No.
The people can't hear me unless they put on the TV. And if they put on the TV, there's a horrendous... it's like calling from America. What happens if you turn off the TV and see what happens? You see? Hello?
If I turn off the TV, I can't hear anything.
All right, then, okay. What are we going to do about this?
Why don't you try it?
When you try it, when you turn off the TV and see what happens.
But is he on the phone? He's obviously on the phone.
I think he's on the phone, yeah.
I can't hear a thing on the phone.
But have you tried turning off the TV?
Hello?
You see, it's a delay. It's like talking to someone in San Francisco 10 years ago.
Hey.
Anyway, it's okay. You obviously you refuse to turn off the TV, but that's all right. That's your prerogative. It's your phone.
Right, there's...
Right then.
No, he's turned it off.
TV's off.
Well, can you hear me now?
No.
Brilliant.
There's no answer to that. All right then.
I can't hear a word.
Can you not?
No.
The talk turns to means of public transport and the delivery of goods via various methods. The presenter is expert at this, having studied millenarianism and cargo cults in a past career as a bluffing social anthropologist. This has nothing to do with anything, but I like saying millenarianism.
Did you ever send anything by train or bus?
Oh, often, yeah, bus, yeah. You can't send anything by train because, you have to wait. You have a beard by the time it arrives. By bus, yeah, I often send things to. As a matter of fact, I was doing a gig in Belfast one time and I had to bring some records with me.
Yeah.
And I forgot them. And I arrived in Belfast and I had no records. Luckily, it was during the day and I didn't have to have these records until about 8 o'clock at night. So I phoned up the good people at the Gold Liner, the express bus, and I said, listen, if a person brought over a little box with records in it, would you bring them down the bus? And my daughter brought the box over and gave it to the conductor. And I said, give him a fiver. And he said, no, thanks, that's quite all right. It's a pleasure.
That's a lie.
It's a lie?
That's a lie.
What's a lie?
That part of it's a lie. They charge.
They don't charge.
They do. They weigh it and charge it. And
no, sometimes.
That's not.
If you have a casual arrangement, you say to the bus driver.
No, that did not happen.
It did not. Are you calling me a liar?
Yes. That part of the story is not true.
It is true.
This bus driver just said, "Oh yes, sure. Oh, yeah,
Yes, he did.
And also,
do you know why he did that? Because he was unlike you. He was a human being.
Are you saying give him a fiver?
My daughter went over to the
never happened. Janice said it never happened.
He's lying. He's telling a lie. Look, you're right, Sean. He's a liar. You're right, Sean. He's a liar.
They make money out of that. It's a service that the Ulster bus provides.
Yes, they do. But actually, if you asked them nicely, they would probably do it. I'm not suggesting that they do it. Look, will you stop?
No.
There are a number of things attributed.
I do it often.
I want you to listen to something now.
All right.
Try to listen to this?
Yes.
We talked about this earlier. This will bring you back. Seattle wasn't the one we thought. That's music while you work. But you know what happens? See the song that we sang? It comes in later on. What do you hear? I'll tell you when it comes in. This is the intro, just. Here we go. Hut. Good evening, BBC here. You're now witnessing one of the wonderful programmes that we put on in the 50s. While you're listening to this, Gerald Michael Anderson is lying ill in bed in Londonderry, in Northern Ireland. This is a request for him, his mum, his dad, and all his siblings. This is sent in by a little baby called Sean Coyle, who's lying in bed with calipers on his legs. And he says he'll be all right. He hopes he'll be able to walk when he's 6. Well done, Sean. Get those calipers going. I've since discovered that under the stairs he found them. Cast away, cast away.
Calling all workers.
Janet said it's called Calling All Workers.
That's us out.
It's like the typewriter song.
There's certain similarities. Germany calling, Germany calling. I'd like to play a special request for a little boy in Rosemount, in Londonderry, in Nassau Street. Oh, he's from the Bahamas. Little boy who hasn't been out and won't be able to walk until he's 6. Oh, you'll miss everything. Oh, look at little Gerald Anderson running around playing football. Wouldn't you like to be like him? What a lovely little boy. British Forces Post Office. Does not make your heart beat faster within your breast. Sorry, Janet.
Janet has knocked.
Can't you wait until the music is over? Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Have you come far? and I would like to ask you, have you come far?
There's a wee phone call.
You're no fun. I was enjoying myself there, two of you look at me as if I was mad. It's the only pleasure I have, playing old
Fix
music.
that seat. It's very annoying. They look at you.
I have to... Look at the seat. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You're disappearing.
I know I'm disappearing.
And people could only see what we see.
The people have brought this chair in and they threw the one out. The only thing that worked in here was the chair. They've thrown that out. Now the microphones don't work, the machine doesn't work, and now the chair doesn't work. And next it'll be me that's not working. Because look at me, look at the way I'm sitting.
Yes, it's...
Look, Dr. Stephen, it's Dr. Stephen Hawking. That's what I'm like. Thank you. Back tomorrow.